Well, happy Thursday to you. I'm meteorologist Justin Gehrts, and thanks for joining us here on the 10 Weather Impact Show. I have a quiet lull in the action right now. We had those persistent showers that just kind of hung on a good share of yesterday. Tomorrow we have rain moving back into the area. In fact, we have a 10 Weather Impact alert for tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening as rain becomes more widespread. So we'll hop to it right here as we do have, again, the quiet and cool weather for us today. Rain does gradually spread in during the day tomorrow. Looks like after lunchtime is when a lot of us are going to be dealing with this. Also watching for some rain chances throughout the holiday weekend, especially on Saturday. Lower chances Sunday and Monday. Not to say that there's not going to be any rain around, but it looks like there are going to be fewer areas of that. All right, so that 10 weather impact alert, Friday p.m., some steady rain moves in. It'll be heavy at times. That does include the afternoon commute. Now, the morning commute is fine. I'm not worried about that at all. It's the afternoon one, so do plan for a slower drive. Headlights on, leave extra space between you and other vehicles. As we know, any amount of rain during the drive can cause some pretty annoying conditions, so it'll be especially so tomorrow if we have any local downpours falling during that time. Right now, radar's pretty clear across Ohio. Not much happening. Still seeing some rain down toward the river, but really things are looking pretty good here. In fact, we've started to see the clouds really finely thin out some. Back edge is working across the I-71 corridor. We'll see a mostly sunny sky to the northwest. Overall, a few more clouds hanging on to the south, so call it partly cloudy overall for us for the afternoon. Hour-by-hour forecast does show this back edge pretty nicely, edging its way to the south and east a little bit, but this evening things are still looking quiet out there, but also cool. Still some jacket weather if you're stuck in those clouds. Those clouds increase once again during the nighttime hours. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., not much happening, just a mostly cloudy sky. But watch what happens through the morning and especially toward noon. Front edge of that band of rain gets to about the I-70 corridor. Now, this may shift a little bit in time, but the general idea here is as we get toward lunchtime tomorrow, this rain becomes more widespread and really takes over the area throughout the afternoon into the evening. Here's 5 p.m. on Friday. A lot of color on the map here. Green, yellow, indicating some local downpours out there. Could be coming pretty good in some spots from time to time. This continues to lift northward. May have some lulls later in the evening. However, overnight, we continue to see some areas of rain and maybe a rumble of thunder pass on by. The bulk of the steadier rain is over early on Saturday. However, doesn't mean we're necessarily done with the rain, as some scattered stuff may redevelop, especially in the afternoon and evening. Could be a few rumbles of thunder with that as well. Again, the steadiest stuff, though, is Friday afternoon, evening into Friday overnight. As far as how much rain to expect, looks like 1 to 2 inches is going to be pretty common across much of the area. Now, some of you may be a little bit less than an inch, but I think a lot of us are going to be in the 1 inch to 2 inch territory. If somebody gets underneath some of those really efficient rainfall producers a couple of times, could be some locally higher amounts even above that. Also looking at some mugginess to return. Today, no problem at all. Dew points are in the 40s and 50s, but the moisture returns and stays with us through the first part of next week, so it is going to be feeling a bit more humid as those temperatures come back up as well. Next couple of days, we are short of average, with highs either side of 80, though, going into early next week. We are seeing pretty seasonable temperatures, although it is going to be a little unsettled from time to time with those occasional rain chances. The latest summer outlook also came out from the Climate Prediction Center, and I'll back out of the way here. El Nino is still forecast to develop this summer, and that's the warmer than average water temperatures in the Pacific near the equator. Now, that actually does have influences on our weather, but more in the winter time in our part of the Midwest than compared to summertime. We also have had some recent rains, including for tomorrow, and that's going to help limit our drought potential. It's harder to, or it's easy to slip in a drought, relatively speaking, when you're going into the summer dry and have all the heat coming up. But when things are dry, or rather wet, it's a little bit better buffer there. As far as the rain outlook, below normal rainfall is a possibility across the upper Midwest and northern plains, but there's no clear signal across our part of the country. As far as temperatures, much of the country is leaning to being warmer than average as well. The exception to that is across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be near average necessarily. Could lean a little bit below, could lean a little bit above, but there's no clear signal at this point. We may actually see a pocket of cooler than average temperatures develop in portions of the upper Midwest late this summer. Today, though, skies turn partly cloudy. 68 degrees is your high with a northeast wind right around 5 to 15 miles an hour. Sunset this evening is at 8:46. All right, here's that 7-day forecast. Those areas of rain develop mainly in the afternoon and evening. We have that 10 weather impact alert for you there. Highs are around 70 tomorrow. Areas of rain continue tomorrow night. We'll see those begin to wrap up at least the steady rain early on Saturday, but some scattered activity does remain in there throughout the day. Highs on Saturday end up right around 78 degrees. Then for the first part of next week, we will see those temperatures hanging out close to 80 degrees or so, with those occasional rain chances on the way. So certainly it is going to be a little on the unsettled side from time to time, but there will be plenty of dry hours mixed in there as well, with those seasonable high temperatures up around 80 degrees or so. All right, well, moving on from the forecast, it may not feel like it, but swim season is almost here, as a matter of fact. So this is what's been going on across the area. In fact, pools in Central Ohio do open soon, just in time for the holiday. Many across our area open on Saturday. That includes Dublin, Marysville, and Columbus. This year, it'll also cost you more to get into a Columbus community pool. It's $3 this year. The Dodge, Glenwood, Lincoln, and Tuttle pools will be open on Saturday and Sunday. Then all outdoor pools will be available June 6th. You do need a leisure card to get in, and you can get that for free at any community center. All right, well, turning now from the pool weather back to active weather, we've learned this afternoon that Waymo has paused its service in Atlanta due to recent flooding. Check out this video. One of its vehicles got stuck in floodwaters after heavy rain there. You can see it here. Waymo says there was no one in the car, and it was eventually removed. The company says service in Atlanta will be suspended until road conditions are safe. Now, Atlanta was not the only part of the country dealing with stormy weather. Extreme weather has been hitting the Northeast as well and other parts of the South in recent days. From torrential rain and flooding to extreme heat to raging fires, weather-related threats have struck in multiple cities. Reed Binion reports.
And then there was this loud, it sounded like almost like a gunshot.
A home in Massachusetts struck by lightning when a powerful storm rolled through the Boston area, just part of the severe weather impacting parts of the Northeast and South this week. In New York Wednesday, heavy rainfall triggered flash flooding across parts of the city. The downpour dumped about 2 inches of rain in under an hour in some neighborhoods, leaving vehicles stranded in certain areas. Video from Queens showed multiple vehicles submerged in floodwaters.
I've never seen flooding like this, guys. Never. This is historic. See this much flooding in our area.
Footage from a city bus in Queens showed knee-deep waters covering the streets. In neighboring New Jersey a day earlier, the problem wasn't water, but heat. With temperatures so hot, some school districts sent students home early. From the heat in New Jersey to fires in Pennsylvania. According to the Philadelphia Fire Department, at least 2 fires close to the train tracks Wednesday impacted Amtrak service between Philly and New York. Hundreds of miles to the south, Atlanta on Wednesday got hit with flooding at least as bad as what they saw in New York. Heavy rainfall caused major flooding on the interstate and left vehicles stranded. Emergency officials said they had to clear several storm drains, but the highway was eventually reopened. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And one of those storms created a scary near-miss situation with a lightning strike in Massachusetts. Mike Sullivan from CBS Boston reports.
There are close calls, and then there's
hair pretty much sticks up on the back of my neck.
Hair-raisingly close calls.
Honestly, it sounded like a bomb was going off.
Brad Robillard had just come home with his kids, their car parked at their Southborough home.
I had literally just told my son that the chances of getting struck by lightning, pretty slim.
That's when he walked to the back door to get his daughter.
Ready to get her out.
A bolt of lightning crashing down next to them, forcing his son to duck for cover.
As soon as it happened, my neighbor texted me. He was like, holy And I was like, yeah, I think it hit right next to me. And then I was like, wait a second, let me look at my Nest camera.
His surveillance cameras capturing the very moment it hit the ground. In the video, it looks to explode behind him, but that may be simply a piece of the puzzle. Here's his theory.
So I think the lightning struck the tree. I think it went up maybe under the ground, picked up the fence here.
You can see the damage on the tree, where the bark splits from the side. Parts of the fence now sport scorch marks from the electric current that he thinks.
Ran along the fence, and I believe it went up the gutter, and you can kind of see like a black mark right by the soffit.
Brad knew there was thunder and lightning in the area. He thought he had taken precaution using methods you're taught as a kid.
When you have like thunder and lightning, you do like the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I had counted to 10 before we got out of the car, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay.
How long was your hearing affected after that?
It was like ringing in one of my ears until probably this morning.
While that sound may be gone, the moment lives forever, caught on camera.
You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it.
That way, when his children get older, they will have this lesson to look back on. In Southborough, I'm Mike Sullivan, WBZ News.
All right, with Memorial Day weekend upon us, the start of hurricane season is fast approaching, but thankfully the forecast from NOAA this year is actually looking like it's maybe below average. Administration is forecasting a below average season. Specifically, the agency is predicting 8 to 14 named storms through November 30th. Of those, NOAA expects 3 to 6 to become hurricanes, with up to 3 reaching Category 3 or stronger. You can thank El Nino for the forecasted reprieve. The natural weather pattern produces winds that make it more difficult for hurricanes to organize, but that doesn't mean folks along the coast can let their guard down.
But even though we're expecting a below average season in the Atlantic, it's very important to understand that it only takes one. We have had Category 5s make landfall in the past during below average seasons.
Hurricane Andrew happened to be one of those. The Atlantic hurricane season kicks off June 1st. Let's take a closer look at wildfires still burning in California. They've been ravaging parts of the state, including Simi Valley. Crews there are now focusing on the still smoldering hotspots that are near homes in the area. Residents are hoping the worst is behind them. Brittany Ehrman reports.
After days of fear, there are signs of relief in Simi Valley.
It's been a little nerve-wracking with all the fire.
The Sandy fire erupted Monday in the hills above the city. For the first time in 7 years living here, Howard Roth saw a wildfire burning outside his window.
We left for 5 hours Monday night, and we came back. Everything was pretty good.
But some residents are still on edge. Thousands of people remain under evacuation orders after the fast-moving fire threatened homes across parts of Ventura County. At least one home has been destroyed. David Kuska went to a nearby evacuation center Monday night, not taking any chances.
First thing I see is notice. Your house is in a mandatory evacuation area. You need to leave immediately. I thought, I think they're right. The heat, the smoke, I'm out of here.
Water drops, cooler temperatures, and calmer winds gave firefighters a chance to strengthen containment lines around neighborhoods. But even as conditions improve on the fire lines, smoke remains a concern across Southern California.
It's very smoky, like a campfire, like you've been camping for 3 days.
The South Coast AQMD has extended a smoke advisory through Thursday night, warning moderate air quality impacts could reach the LA Basin, Inland Empire, and Coachella Valley, depending on how the fires behave and how quickly crews can contain them.
We have an air filter thing going on and just keeping the doors shut.
Residents are being urged to stay indoors when possible and wear a properly fitted N95 mask if they have to go outside. Some families say they're watching the containment numbers closely, hoping each update brings them one step closer to normal.
It's a scary time, and we've been through fires before, many, but this is the worst.
Yeah, I feel for anybody who's in the face of this coming at them. But I think we're all done here, so I'm happy.
Yeah, certainly an early start to their fire season out there. All right, finally today, let's check out some new video into 10 TV. First up, new video from Florida as earlier today, SpaceX's Falcon 9 launched 29 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit from Space Launch Complex 40, SLC-40, at Cape Canaveral Space Station in Florida. Always cool to see these launch images. Pretty remarkable. Just, yeah, it's really something to watch those. You don't get bored watching them, especially from those really unusual perspectives right up close there. Pretty amazing there as they're taking off, leaving Earth, getting those Starlinks put into orbit. All right, finally today, check this one out. The weather is warm, the sun is shining. The ideal time for a female pygmy hippopotamus to enjoy her first outdoor bath some 10 days after being born at Berlin Zoo. In a video released on Thursday and filmed a day earlier, the young animal, born on May 9th, but has yet to be named, seemingly enjoyed the water by wiggling its ears. According to the zoo, the little hippo is doing well, developing well, gaining weight steadily. At a recent weigh-in, the female tipped the scales at 10 kilos or 22 pounds, nearly doubling her birth weight. Pygmy hippos are solitary animals, and Mother Debbie will raise the calf on her own, the zoo said in a written statement. Always fun to see the pygmy hippos, especially after the one went viral a year or two ago with its little angry face or maybe happy face as it was getting doused with the water coming on. So that was a fun one for us. But again, we are going to be watching quiet weather today before we have the more active weather move into the area for tomorrow. Not really expecting any severe weather here in central Ohio, but we are going to be seeing at least some pretty steady and at times heavy rain coming up later tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. Those typical trouble spots where you have the ponding and things like that, do keep in mind that that'll probably be an issue for us, as is often the case when we have these rainfalls of 1 or 2 inches. So otherwise, you won't have to plant for or won't have to water for a couple of days, rather, as we have had about 1 inch to 2 inches of rain over the past couple of days, and then we have more coming up, about another inch or 2 coming up tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow night. All right, well, that does it here for us on your weather update here on 10 TV. Coming up this evening, starting at 4 o'clock, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer is here to let you know the latest on tomorrow's weather alert, as well as the fact that we, of course, have the holiday weekend coming up, so we'll make sure you have everything ready as far as weather expectations for that time. In the meantime, have a great afternoon. As always, you can always find us at 10tv.com.